Hello everyone and welcome to Nerd Mela. I am Brahmavadini and today we are going to talk about the 2020 budget.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present her second budget on 1st of February, Saturday, at a time when the Indian economy is undergoing a deep downturn. Key demand drivers in the economy are consumption, exports, and investments, which have been sluggish for more than a quarter now. The present budget comes in a very challenging economic time as the GDP growth rate in the last quarter has registered a mere growth of 4.5%, about half the pace notched in the first part of 2018. The consumption confidence is at the lowest level since 2014 and the labor market is poor too, with an unemployment rate of 6.1%, which is at a 45-year high, which is worrying considering the fact that 65% of the population is under 35 and the total population is more than 1.3 billion. Just last year, India was world's fastest growing major economy. In a year, it was being projected that India would soon join China and US and claim a large share in the global commerce. However, 1 year down the line, India has reached a position in which countries like Philippines and Indonesia are growing quicker and Malaysia is ready to catch up. China, despite its current slowdown, has registered a decent 6% growth rate. Along with the broader economic problems, the public sentiment is also riled up due to the anti-CAA protests. In this circumstance, the government can take two courses of action. One being those concentrating on the short-term goals, which may be politically more advantageous, these being supporting the business community, appealing to the middle-class vote bank, and creating a temporary spectacle that will create a positive sentiment in the public. To help the business communities, there can be steps such as reduction in the tax on long-term capital gains, reduction in dividend distribution tax, introduction of direct tax code. Each of these steps can minimize the cost of doing business that can help in expansion or betterment of the already established businesses. To appeal to the middle class, the steps that may be taken is reducing the taxation, introducing short-term reduction on GST on few sectors such as construction or even certain consumable items. Also, for small businesses, the rise in import duties can be beneficial as local businesses can flourish with lesser competition from the international market. The temporary steps that can be introduced for appealing to the national sentiments and distress can be increasing defense allocations, increasing allocation to Manrega, Ayushman Bharat, minority welfare, scholarship, etc. Through these short-term goals, there can be temporary management of the economic and the political problems that are plaguing the country right now. It is most likely that the government expenditure, this budget, will be higher in order to fulfill these economic goals. However, to finance an expanding government expenditure, the generation of money is a concern. After elections, the Modi government had shown its inclination to increase disinvestment and raise money from international borrowing. And monetization of the government assets helps in generating one-time bulk revenue. However, care must be taken that the finances generated from the disinvestment should be invested in creating capital in the country. Also, raising money from international borrowing is again a controversial topic. Several economists have warned against it as it can lead to dip in the investment grade rating of the country. On the other hand, India, being a country with high economic potential and need for large-scale investment, especially for the infrastructure sector, should find creative ways to attract foreign capital. Considering long-term challenges of India, the sectors where the budget should focus are agricultural investment, education, special development funds for local businesses, especially for job creation, and managing custom duties. According to several reports, the average income of the farmers has reduced in the last decade. There is need for greater agricultural investment in order to strengthen the agriculture sector in the country. Secondly, in the midst of Industrial Revolution 4.0, it is necessary to invest in transitioning the education sector to make it compatible with the future. Large investment should be made in reskilling the existing demographic dividend to increase their potential as job seekers. Thirdly, the local businesses, including the MSME sector, should be encouraged to grow more. According to the Economic Survey of 2019, investing in the flourishing MSME sector can help in reducing dwarfism in the sector as well as help in job creation. Further, there is need to manage the custom duties of the country. It is going to be a balancing act again, as India, being a supporter of globalization, should have custom duties compatible with the international economic groups. At the same time, the liberalization of import duties should not hamper the local businesses. Let us hope that the budget of 2020 welcomes the decade with greater financial stability, growth, contained inflation, and greater investment. Recently, the IMF suggested that India was a drag on the world economy. Let's hoping the budget is able to reverse this trend.